Well, how are you? All the scorpions are here today. Yes, welcome back to Exotic Astrology. Today we are discussing the eighth sign of the Zodiac belt, which is the eighth sign. Yes, you all know it, I know, and so does everybody and the universe. This is the most famous sign of the zodiac belt, okay? Especially in the West and also in some parts of Asia. This sign is extremely famous. Everybody is obsessed the moment they hear about this sign. Everybody wants to know what does a Scorpio think. So all the scorpions out there, today we will know and see what does scorpions do. How do they think like? Who they are? Are they like you and me or are they like somebody else? Okay. So we have been continuing the discussion of the houses and the zodiacs signs, and today we have reached number 8, which is none other than the sign of Scorpio. Who is the ruler of the sign? Yes, you guessed it right. Mars is the ruler, the fiery, angry, fierce planet Mars. Okay, and it is a water sign which represents emotions, depth, connectivity at an emotional level. Okay, and it is a fixed sign. Okay, and it actually represents still water because it is water but it is fixed. Okay, so because of this innate traits of being fixed water, there is some amount of difficulty which is there in this sign, because it is like you have a bucket of water which is very hard, which you cannot penetrate. Okay, so we will see what are the traits of these people. Okay, now especially people who have their focal planets like sun, the moon, and the lord of the ascendant. If you do not know what is ascendant, then please go back to the earlier videos and watch them. Okay, who have planets, any of these three planets in the sign of Scorpio, okay, will have these traits. Okay, so we will see what these people are and how they behave. Well, number one trait is they are very brave because it is ruled by Mars, just like Aries, the first zodiac sign. This is the eighth zodiac sign, which is also ruled by Mars. So, because Mars is a fiery planet, it's a very aggressive and it's a soldier actually. Okay, Mars is the soldier, it is the commander, it is the person who executes the order of the authority, the king. Yes, king is the sun. So because of this they are extremely brave, they're very courageous, they're very passionate. They, whatever they do, they will do with lot of vigor and power and passion, and they're very ongoing towards anything they do in life. Okay, and they're very passionate also. Okay, and they like to do passionate activities. Also these people are very stubborn at times because this is a fixed sign. Okay, all the fixed signs have some components of being stubborn, but Scorpio has much more because it is also ruled by Mars. Okay, uh, and Mars itself is also a stubborn planet because the soldier doesn't like to hear. Okay, it only wants to do things which he wants because he has a gun, he can shoot anybody, he has a sword, he can rip off your head, he's not going to listen to anybody. Okay, so these people at times can be stubborn. Now interestingly, they are excellent friends. Okay, they can have very much long-term commitment in any areas, for example friendship or any relationship. If your father has prominent planets in Scorpio, then you can know that they will always be there for you. They are basically reliable people. Okay, and they want to maintain long term commitments. Okay, especially relationships, because this is a water sign, and water sign is what? It is all about love, creation, creativity, nourishment, motherly care. Okay, enlightenment, Enlightenment is more of the fire sign, but also water sign, because it is a moksha house. Moksha represents liberation. If you do not know what is moksha, then please go back to my earlier videos, Moksha Trikon, and then watch it. Okay. Now, these people have these traits of maintaining relationships for long term. Okay, and they derive a lot of happiness, joy, and comfort, especially from friends. Okay, and these people are at times very jealous of others. Okay, and they can be very secretive, because it is the eighth house of secrecy. Eighth house is the house of secrecy. Okay, and they can be very violent at times because it is ruled by Mars. Okay, and these people like the truth. They like to speak the truth, and also these people dislike those people who do not speak the truth. Okay, and they love to deal with facts which are on the ground, and they love being right. They love to prove that they are right. Okay, and they love to maintain long term friendships. Okay, and they are known as people who can keep secrets. Okay, so if you want to tell some secret, then you can tell it to a Scorpio. You can be rest assured that he will not leak it. Okay, and one thing they dislike is people who are passive or who are very cold, because water sign is all about warmth. Okay, it is about being there for you all the time, because it represents nourishment, love, relationships, etc., because that's what is the component of water. Now, apart from this, these people, because it represents the eighth house. Eighth house is the house of the genitals in the body. Okay, and Scorpio represents the genitals. So that is why these people can be too much sexual at times. Okay, and they can have because it also represents the kundalini energy which is stored in the body. I will make videos on what is kundalini energy and what is ascension and rising of the consciousness through the seven chakras later. But Scorpio is the point where the chakra, the Muladhara chakra, which is the seventh, is stored. Is the energy is residing in the Scorpio sign. Okay, so if somebody activates the Muladhara chakra, which is in the region of the genitals, then he is activating the sexual energy. Okay, now that is the same energy which ascends up, it rises through the Muladhara, then higher, 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 and goes to the Sahasrara chakra, which is above, okay, the head. Okay, Agya chakra is in the forehead, and Sahasrara is above the head actually. Of course, I will discuss about all these chakras later, but I am saying Scorpio is the origin of this energy. So sexual energy is very prominent in this sign. Now you will see there are many saints and sages who has this sign Scorpio, or many prominent planets in the eighth house. Okay, basically what does this mean? That these saints and sages, they have harnessed this energy, the powerful sexual energy. Okay, and they have diverted it, or I would say transmitted it above. Okay, when you do not lose the vital fluid, the semen of your which is formed in the male's body, which ideally should only be used for procreation. Okay, when a yogi or a saint or a sage does not lose this semen, okay, unnecessarily spilling it out of his body, and he preserves it, then what happens? This semen rises up, 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 and it goes to the Sastra chakra, which is above the head. Okay, and it gives a lot of shine and a lot of bright and a lot of attractiveness to the person. So if you meet some great sage or a great saint, you will see his face is always shining, it is bright. You can feel that there is a powerful presence in this person. Okay, now also this Scorpio sign is very prominent in people who indulge in too many unnecessary sexual activities. Okay, and even in the charts of prostitutes or people who are into this industry, either by force or by choice, either by either of the means, you will see the sign prominent. So, or even if they belong to any normal society, they if they have the sign prominent, they can be into some sexual controversy or some sexual scandal. Now, why that is, I will explain it to you. Why? What is the reason? The reason is very simple. The reason is that the same energy of the Kundalini, which should have been used to uh, move your consciousness upwards. And what do I mean by upwards? By upwards, I mean doing spiritual activities like meditation or whichever religious tradition you are following, using those religious principles and traditions from time immemorial, which is coming down to us by authorized sources. By using that, we purify ourselves, and we purify ourselves of the negative materialistic desires, okay, and we try to go close to God. We try to think of God more, okay. We try to remember God in all situations. We try to behave with God intimately as a friend, as we deal with our friend or with our lover, okay. We go every moment by moment, we go close to him. That is the goal of every religion. At the end, you when you leave your body, you should remember God. Then it is said you go back to wherever God is. Otherwise, you take birth again, okay. Of course, the specifics can vary as per different religion. I am not going into that, but what I'm saying is, irrespective of whichever religion it is you are following, but the principle of going close to God is the end of it all, summit, okay. There's nothing above God. He is the end of it all, the conclusion of all that exists. So the point I'm emphasizing here is that the sages and saints, they can preserve this sexual energy in the form of the semen, and then they can preserve it by doing spiritual activities, spiritual practices, like getting up in the morning early, performing celibacy, performing pujas, then chanting the holy name of God, then spreading the message of the holy scriptures to other people, okay. By this, when they continue doing this they then they fall in love with this practice, and eventually they also start loving God, which is a very 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 highly elevated state, which we cannot imagine of as normal people. But now this same energy, if you throw it outside from your body through the genitals, then what happens is you become a victim of this energy, okay, of this negativity. And because this sign has the scorpion associated with it, so these people, the scorpion has that sting on his back now, with which it hits. So it has poison in that, okay. So there's a lot of poison which is kept on the back, okay, and it can hit you any moment. So that's how the sexual energy is. You might think you are indulging in something wrong and getting away with it, but suddenly out of nowhere one day you will run into controversy or some sexual disease, okay, or anything else might happen. Or eventually the sin can transfer and come to you in some other form, in some other lifetime, if you are misusing this vital fluid which is there in your body. That shows indulgence in too many sexual activities in the past lives, if a person has prominent planets in Scorpio. Or it can also mean that he has tremendous potential to take it on a spiritual level, because that is the origin, that is the base, that is the starting point, that is where culmination starts, okay. So now if somebody has prominent planets in Scorpio, for example, somebody has moon in the sign of Scorpio, then the person needs to be very careful, because his emotions can drive him mad sometimes, because Scorpios tend to take extreme sides. They can be extremely against somebody, or they can extremely love somebody, okay. So these people, even if sun is placed, then also that trait can come, or whatever, whichever planet is placed. We will see that later, what happens when different planets are placed in different signs. But I'm just saying, as of now, any planet which is in Scorpio has the power to take you up to the sky and then beyond to God. And the same planet, if misused, okay, if misutilized, if the energy, not only of that planet, of generally the sexual energy goes out of control, then the same planet will accumulate poison in your chart, and when time comes it will hit back. Scorpion is what it hits you, right? When time comes you will not see the scorpion all the time. Suddenly it will pop up from somewhere and then it will hit you tuck from the back. And then when it hits you once, that's it, you are dead. So we have examples of famous personalities. I will not quote their names here, but they can be presidents of great countries, even presidents of the world's richest nation or the most powerful nation, okay, ruling for 4 years, 6 years, 8 years as presidents. And even they can fall prey to sexual scandals, controversies, etc. So the point I'm trying to make here is that this energy which is there in the body, the sexual energy, should be conserved and not wasted for unnecessary purposes, except for the purpose of begetting children, okay. And that's what Lord Krishna also, who is one of the gods in Hinduism, he also says in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the holy book of the Hindus in India. He says, "Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava," that sex life which is not contrary to the principles of religion. I am personally that sex life. That's what Lord Krishna is telling. Krishna is not telling sex is bad here. Krishna is telling, I am that sex life which is not contrary to religious principle. That means sex life which is only used to beget children, okay? Rightfully, dutifully, as per religion and the laws. So if that is used in that manner, this can yield a lot of benefit, and then slowly, eventually, the energy will ascend up as we continue practicing spirituality along with our married life, with our family and our wife. Okay, you don't have to be a celibate for this. You can be married, there's no problem in getting married. Okay, and then this energy ascends up to the Sahasrara chakra, and then one day it bangs off, booms, and you go back to the spiritual world where God is, okay, never to return back. But if you misuse this energy and you indulge in wrong things, then Lord Krishna also says in the Gita that Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Whatever state of mind one is at the time of death, that is the state he will attain. So if somebody is too much into sexual activities throughout his life, okay, or he has done a lot of sexual activities which are not conducive for spiritual life, or those which are not permitted by the scriptures, then he may get the body of an animal, because animals, the one prominent aspect of being an animal is that the animal likes to have sex with the opposite gender person, okay. Dog, then the she dog, and even among birds the sex life is very prominent, okay. Human life, as per the scriptures, is meant for self realization, to understand God and to go beyond this world, because that's what will give you ultimate happiness. The aim of the scriptures is not to deprive you from happiness, it is to free you from this bondage and take you to the highest level of happiness, highest level of consciousness, highest level of awareness, uh, highest level of goodness, highest of the highest. That's what the scriptures want to give you. It is not a deprivation. Many people today ask that why does the scriptures of the ancient traditions prohibit us from doing certain activities. Well, that is because to make you free. Because if the scriptures say that, because there's almost all the scriptures agree that doing intoxication is wrong, okay. Now if a person is doing intoxication, you can see he's always chained by his habits, okay. He might think he's free, he might say in the name of freedom I'm doing it, but actually you are having the least freedom, sir, okay. So I will discuss about these energies later, but because it is the sign of Scorpio, this video has become a bit long, but these things are necessary to be told in this zodiac sign, because the traits can become very prominent, okay. Intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, and even eating meat at times, because this sign has some connotation of violence associated with it, okay. So that's it from my side. If you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel Exotic Astrology, and wait till you get new updates every day on different zodiacs and placement of planets in different signs, and spiritual updates. And before ending, as I always say, God is there with you all the time. Please look to Him and He will be there. Okay, and always please click on the notifications, okay, in that bell sign which is there. Uh, Otherwise, you will not get the notifications when I upload new videos. Okay, that's it from my side. If you have any questions, queries, or comments, then please let me know in the comment section. Okay, until next time, bye bye, see you.